There are two operators in this game which you were forced to use to get through your first couple of casual matches. They were important clutches that ensured you had a operator for your team, which was mostly made up of bots. But by now, you probably forgot about them. Once important, now relics to most of their users. However, should you forget them? Yeah, that's right. Here's that recruit video I mentioned before. Well, not exactly. I wanted to do a 1000 knife kills montage, but that literally would have taken months to make and take super long to watch, especially for the average goldfish. So, I'm starting a guide series for every operator. Starting in soft launch, where I definitely live in Canada, let's begin. Here's a fun fact. This operator is a woman. Okay, this is kind of obvious, but I bet that one or two of you would comment while I was calling it a female. Anyway, let's start off with the basic stats. She's a 2-speed and has 150 total hit points, so pretty balanced when it comes to armor and mobility. When it comes to gadgets, she has 3 breach charges and a frag grenade. Now, let's talk about breach charges. You can attach them to soft walls, soft hatches, and barricades with the exception of reinforced wall and reinforced hatches. They are remote controlled but have instant detonation, so means jammers prevent use. They're also destructible, so people can just shoot or explode them. They make big holes, so they're pretty good at opening the sight and can also down nearby enemies, which can result in some unintended kills. Now, when it comes to grenades, you can't time them, however they can get you a kill, so it's a pretty straightforward ability which has some good situational uses. Her abilities are okay and are overall pretty useful. Let's talk about her weapons. She has the M4 and the SDP 9mm. The M4 is an iconic firearm and is expectedly very balanced. Not the best really in any situation, but far from the worst either. It's not the best at time to kill, however it's consistent, which makes it a good universal weapon. Good recoil control, fine enough damage, and overall pretty good operator in this game, especially early on. I don't know the time to kill, however you will not have favorable matchups at close range against operators like Rook, so stay away from lethal close range defender gunfights, as you may not beat them when they peak. I also know that normal mag is 31 rounds, extended is 38 rounds, and large is 46 rounds. This is pretty normal, so it's completely fine. The pistols are okay and don't really matter that much. However, it is 13 rounds at lighter quick mag and 17 normally with 22 at extended. Overall, she's got a decent kit. There are better operators, which I will talk more about later, but she is a overall pretty balanced operator. Finally, we will talk about attachments. For the side rail, I like to use the mini laser normally and the high precision one for the team deathmatch. When it comes to optics, I always use the ACOG 1.5x. However, I don't have it unlocked right now, so the 518 Hollow is the sight I'm currently using. For the muzzle, I always use the extended barrel. However, I don't have it right now, so the flash hider is my replacement. For the grip, I use the vertical one. For the magazine, I use the extended one with the exception of Team Deathmatch where I use the large one. For internals, I like to use wallbuster rounds, but I don't have it, so I use the lightweight frame. Same thing for the pistol, however, I just use the 518 Hollow. So, here's my opinion. Pros. Able to soft breach, can be picked multiple times, universal option. Neutral. Range, ammo capacity, mobility, armor, gadgets, fire rate, time to kill, basically average at everything. Cons. Master of none, easily outclassed. I give her a B grade. She's viable, however most operators fulfill certain aspects of her job better. I own a recruit for home defense, since that's what Tom Clancy intended. A 4-stack break into my house.
We're green. About damn time.
As he grabs his pistol and SMG before laying out barbed wire. Gets a headshot elimination on Ash with a pistol. She's dead on the spot. Draws his SMG on Thermite. Faces through him entirely because it's terrible and nails Twitch's drone. He has to rely on Capcom's tripwire at the bottom of the door frame filled with explosives.
Doorway, trap. Stay clear of blast zone.
The trap downs 2 operators in the blast. The sound and shrapnel destroy gadgets. Takes out an impact grenade and charges the last terrified rapscallion. She explodes and the attackers lose since the last player is AFK. just as Tom Clancy intended. Now, we need to talk about this fella. He's also a 2-speed like ATK, but has impact grenades and barbed wire. Barbed wire is okay. They slow down enemies and have an animation that makes sound when being walked on. They can also be electrified by Bandit with his batteries. However, 2 knife hits or an explosive can destroy the gadget, so it isn't perfect. Overall, a decent ability which works best in locations where you want to know if they are nearby you, like outside sight openings. However, putting them inside for Bandit also works for slowing enemies and damaging them when they don't expect it. However, don't always expect Bandit to electrify the gadget. He also has an impact grenade, which instantly explodes on impact and thrown. It's fun, but it really is only good for rotations. Play Blast Fit on a weekend that it's available, which never happens, and you'll understand what I mean. Everybody has 50 HP and it's still really hard to kill enemies with it, so don't use it for that, really. Now, the gun is okay. In my opinion, it is the worst defender primary. The UMP-45 is an SMG with 26 rounds normally, but 32 extended and 38 rounds with a large mag. Because of this, its ammo count is pretty lackluster. You actually get more ammo with ATK. However, it does have pretty good mobility. It aims down sights pretty quickly as he has an SMG, and I'd say he's the fastest operator when moving and aimed in with their primary, but this is just my observation. The recoil is also pretty easy to manage, however the damage is abysmal. As I'm writing this, one-shot headshots have not been implemented for every gun, which I mentioned as it is being added in the next update, but he ends up taking like 2 to 4 shots to get one depending on the range. Practically against any other operator, you are going to get outgunned. Because of this, aim for the head and try to catch the enemy off guard to secure the kill. You will most likely be beaten in an equal opportunity situation. His pistol is the 5.7 USG, which is okay, I guess. You end up using pistols for moving around the map usually, so it doesn't really matter. However, it has a good ammo count, being 17 at light or quick, 21 normally, and 25 when extended. Meanwhile, when using wallbuster rounds, that'll be 13, 17, and 21 respectively. I use the same attachments as ATK Recruit, but 518 Hollow is the only choice I have since SMGs don't have ACOGs. Now, here's my opinion. Pros: good weapon mobility, consistent, usable when operator is chosen. Neutral: armor, speed, abilities, range. Cons: low ammo capacity, damage, fire rate, time to kill, with better options. Only suggest using early on, and requires headshots to be a bit more viable. C grade, the worst defender in my opinion. And that's it. We are finally done talking about the operator specifically. So, what's the takeaway? AT Recruit is usable, and Def Recruit is garbage. Yes, but here's some food for thought. Now, I think about the recruits more than the average player because I have friends who use them quite often. This is because they are always pickable, meaning that they will always keep your consistency. However, it limits you to these chains. It gets boring pretty quickly, considering there are just better, more unique operators. Let's focus on the ATK Recruit. For example, the M4 is a pretty average gun. You could get a more potent CQC weapon like the Type 89 CQB, R4C, and F2, or you could get a longer range gun like the L85A2. This applies to Def Recruit too. Caveira gets twice the impact grenades, and Bandit can attach his own car battery to his barbed wire. In the end, I'd rather die on my legs using fun and unique operators than live on my knees with Def Recruit, even though his awfulness is his fun factor. But use whatever you like. Games are meant to be fun, and it's not for me or other people to tell you how to play the game. This was Hebos. Hebos out.
Impact out!